Welcome to the NBA Pub Hub. It is Tuesday, June 15th. Ian Cameron, Skee Prophet, Dutch Boy Fresh, Conor Mac with you. We are ready for a NBA playoff Tuesday night with just one game, but it is a fascinating game. It's got storylines out the wazoo, if you will. The Brooklyn Nets returning home to face the Milwaukee Bucks in Game 5 with the series tied 2-2. We'll dig into that game and break it all down from a betting perspective, side total, and props. Before we do, we'll look back on last night. And hey, Sixers doing, could you count on them to put the foot on the throat of the Atlanta Hawks and go up 3-1 in this series and give themselves a chance to close it out in 5 back in Philly? No, they could not. As the Atlanta Hawks, credit to them, a great second half rally, albeit with a hobbled, wounded Joel Embiid, who was definitely not even close to 100% last night. Atlanta taking advantage. They come back to defeat the Philadelphia 76ers. Now all of a sudden it's a series again, 2-2. Best of 3, and now Embiid's health moving forward, a little bit of a question mark, but credit to Bogdanovic, a great performance from him, much better offensive fluidity from the Atlanta Hawks. They made some adjustments. They really tried to push the ball a lot more, I felt, at the beginning of the second half, and it really was to their benefit. Props to them. Obviously not the greatest night for the Sixers, but the Hawks certainly right back in the series again, 2-2 with the scene shifting to Philadelphia. The other game last night, let's give the LA Clippers a ton of credit. Dutch, a ton of credit. He said it was another smackdown waiting to happen for Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, and the LA Clippers, and it was indeed that. It was 52-20 at one point in that game for the LA Clippers, and the cruise to an easy victory over the Jazz. They really put it on cruise control in the second half, and which was good for Connor, me, and a bunch of us, because we took Utah plus 20.5 in game, saying, hey, that's a lot of points. Utah can shoot the 3 and backdoor this thing. That's pretty much what happened. So it was a good live bet to take Utah plus 20.5, but the Clippers easily, first quarter, first half, full game, cover with ease. Another good performance from George. Let's give him credit. Kawhi, solid again. Marcus Morris stepped up big time last night in the victory for the Clippers. Donovan Mitchell really got off to a tough start. You wonder if he's fully at 100%. He tweaked his ankle in Game 3. It didn't look like that the other night. I think it's becoming clear that Utah does need Mike Conley back, at some point in this series. And the question is, if we see him, and when will we see him in this series? But that series now down to a best of 3, knotted at 2, the home team winning and covering in every game so far in that Jazz Clippers series. Skee, what did you think of last night's 2 games?
I thought that, Sixers kind of, I don't know, man. How do you let that game? Yeah, how do you let that game get away from you? I remember I was watching it at the book and everything, and halftime, I'm kind of thinking, oh, this one's over. Maybe I can go play some craps or something. Like, what else am I going to do? I think they're going to run away with it. And next thing I know, I blink, and Atlanta's about to tie it up. So I got to give credit to Nate McMillan. He's been having these Hawks ready to play ever since he stepped in. 2-2, injured Embiid. Maybe the Hawks can pull it off. I don't know. So we'll see in that one. And in the other game, that was the one for me. I was pissed off for about what, 16, the first 16 minutes of the first half. And then all of a sudden, a miracle happens and every shot starts to go in.
Oh, man. And, that was great.
We get up and over the first half.
Yep. Dude, those threes there, I was happy.
I'll take a little bit for me. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of luck. But, I was talking about that game. I said that you get usually in every game we've gotten 2 60-point quarters. They only had one yesterday. And I said that I'll be willing to bet that one of them comes in the first half. And we need a little bit more, closer to 70, but we got it. So I'm happy.
Yeah, it's amazing, right? Milwaukee's up 2-0, close to going up 3-0, and now all of a sudden we're wondering if they'll get through the series. Philly looks like they're going to take a 3-1 series lead. They have a great first half. They look like they're going to put away Atlanta and smoke them last night, and now all of a sudden we're wondering if the Sixers are going to win the series. So it's amazing how things can change in just one game and in one half, in some cases. Dutch, what did you think of what we saw last night?
Yeah, shout out to our guy Slaughter. I see that comment. Our guy Eric Chain in the chat. Salute to everybody in the chat. Yeah, man. Yesterday, man. Oh, shout out to my guy Black Floor King. I see you, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, do me a favor real quick. Everybody take a moment. Hit the motherfucking like button, just like I'm hitting this plane. Orange 43. Get you right where you need to be. Believe that. Appreciate y'all. Chris Brady, I see you. Now, when it comes to the first game, Oh man, like Skee said, I was feeling myself. I was like, I don't even got to sweat the second half. I was thinking about what I'm gonna do until the motherfucking Clippers game started, and then all of a sudden it went all bad. I don't know what the fuck happened at halftime. Went Embiid 8. I believe my guy Turnsy text. He hit me with the. He had some gummies because I was like, what the fuck this dude do at halftime, man? The whole, not only Embiid, I mean the whole damn team was colder than the Alaska breeze, man. That third quarter, it was horrible to watch, depressing as fuck. But I will give Atlanta, their credit. But I don't want to talk about that game no more because it's killing my high. But I do know what I do want to talk about, and that's oh yeah, baby. That's for you, Skee, and all them Utah motherfuckers. Yeah. The Clippers, baby. We clipped that ass first half, first quarter.
Manscaped action there, baby.
And full game. Easy.
You lawnmowered us with that pick there, Dutch, is what you did.
Yeah. Shout out. Lawnmower 4.0, baby.
Yeah,
Manscaped.
Yeah.
Promo code Pub Sports. You'll see it later.
Yeah, real talk. Shout out. For real. That's why I got this motherfucker. But yeah, when it comes to that, man, you know what it is. I told you it's going to be Kawhi. He's locked in and PG-13. He's doing his thing. If you ain't seeing it, then you're blind as fuck because the guy's found his game and he's going to continue. I'm saying right now, this is the Clippers series. I'm not going to talk. We're not talking about we won't talk about game 5 yet, but this is the Clippers series. Believe that. Conley coming back. We'll see what happens, but it might fuck up the rhythm a little bit, but the Clippers did exactly what I thought. They're taking over LA, Skee. It's the Clip Show. They ain't going nowhere for a minute, my man. Get used to it. Yeah, man.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. But the Clippers they got the momentum. They got Uncle Mo on their side right now. There's no denying that. And the Jazz they got to hope home court comes through for them. I think they got to hope Conley comes back at some point. But yes, this series definitely has turned in the Clippers' favor for now. Utah still does have home court advantage, but got to make the most of it. No question, these next 2 games. Let's get to the game tonight. It's all about this is the James Harden game right now. That's essentially what it is. Will he or won't he play in this game tonight is the big question. He went from out to doubtful to questionable, and now the reports from Shams and from Woj and all these insiders are that he's going to try to give it a go tonight and play in Game 5 for the Nets as they take on the Milwaukee Bucks. We've got Milwaukee. They were 4.5, even 5-point road favorites. Now with the potential of a James Harden sighting tonight, they're only 3-point road favorites now, pretty much across the board, 221 the total. This is one of those games this is a series that's really kicked my ass from a betting perspective, especially side and total. This is one of those games I feel best to just sit back, watch it from a side perspective, from a totals perspective. I don't think Milwaukee -3 on the road after 2 big home wins, going on the road where they haven't won yet in this series, is not value to me, laying 3 with Milwaukee. But I can't say I'm running to bet Brooklyn either. We don't know if Harden's going to be 100%, even if he does play. Does that screw up the chemistry? Because here's Nash trying to game plan without Harden and without Irving. Now you might have to put Harden back in. And if you do, is he 100% is a question mark. The other thing that bothers me is, are we going to get Shamet? Are we going to get Harris, and the supporting cast stepping up offensively? I believe in one of those guys stepping up offensively. And this is probably the bet I like most in this game. The one bet that I definitely like more than the rest. It's not a side. It's not a total. It's a player prop. I think he's answering the bell tonight. Joe Harris, over 13.5 points for the Brooklyn Nets. He's back home. He's comfortable in that environment at Barclays Center. He did shoot the ball better in the first 2 games of this series. This is his night to step up offensively. This is a prop that I really, really like. Maybe putting more on it than I normally do when it comes to player props. Joe Harris, over 13.5 points. As far as the side and total goes, I'm off the game entirely. I mean, I've had enough betting this series from a side and total perspective. I'll look for some things in game. I think that's probably the way I'll approach it. Maybe you look Brooklyn early to come out strong, and maybe you live bet Milwaukee, or basically vice versa if somehow Milwaukee, has the strong start to this game. So I'm looking at those kind of things. When there's a lull in the scoring, maybe a live over. If there's a ton of points maybe early, then maybe a live under. So I'm really looking at this game more from a side and totals perspective. Game 5 tonight as more of a live betting game for me. But I really like that Harris prop. That's what I like pregame in this one. Joe Harris over 13.5 points for the Brooklyn Nets. Skee, what's your thoughts here? Game 5, series tied at 2-2. Maybe a James Harden sighting back in the lineup for the Nets tonight as they take on the Bucks.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you in the fact that, I don't like this game at all. I kind of been staying away from the series. I stepped in game 1 and took a first half over and got smoked, and then ever since then I stayed out the way. So the total, I'll talk about the total first before the side. The total, it started off the series closer to 240. Now we're sitting at 220, and I know every game is went under, but it's hard. I don't think the Brooklyn defense is good. I think that they do some things good to defend Milwaukee, but Milwaukee, just like long term, they're not good defending the perimeter. For the past few seasons, like they're not good against the three. And the past couple games, Brooklyn has shot 25% from three. They shot 30% from three. And I just don't see that continuing. Like you said, Ian, I expect a bigger game from the role players, in particular players like Joe Harris. And so I would look to go over the total if I had to play it at that low number of 220. I like that Joe Harris prop over 13.5 points. I mean, it's going to be square, but I think KD responds after his previous game. I think he goes over his point total of, it was like close to 35, something like that. For the Milwaukee side, if I'm going to do any props, I would look towards Brook Lopez. His rebounds are 6.5, or maybe Giannis rebounds. That's the way I'm looking to play there for a side. I agree with you too, Ian. Like, I'm not going to be betting Milwaukee to come on the road after a couple wins. I think I always say the road players in the playoffs play better at the house. So I think you can get a good game from Harris. Think you can get another good game from Blake Griffin. Think some of these other guys can step up. I don't even really care if Harden's there or not. Like, if you get some juice from Harden tonight, that's a bonus in my opinion. So I'll lean towards the Nets, and those are the other ways that I look in this game.
Yeah, I'm one of those guys that's, I've been on the over twice in this series. I've only had the over twice in this series out of the 4 games. Obviously, both lost. It's been 4-0 to the under in the first 4 games. But I still remember a time when game 1 total opened 242. Okay, the game 1 total, think about this. It opened 242. The total for this game tonight is in the low 220s now, 221. It's where we see this total now. You're talking about like a 21-point drop now. So you can't tell me the value isn't on the over tonight, with where this was in game 1. But the problem with it being difficult is these two teams have struggled way more offensively than we've thought, totally out of sync at times. These two teams have gone back and forth, just being completely out of sync at the offensive end. Can we trust them enough? What is clearly a bargain in the total based on where game 1 opened. It's been a steady fall in the totals of these games from game 1 right through to tonight, game 5. But boy, I mean, it's tough with just, every time I think there's value over, and I keep losing, and there's the under again. That's why it's difficult, but it would be over or pass for me just because this number is astronomically low, and you just got to hope the shooting percentages are there when it's all said and done. What do you think here, Dutch? It's a big game 5. Brooklyn.
Yeah, man. Shout out to my guy, Rick the Ruler, Chong Lee. I see y'all, Harold Williams, everybody in the chat. Yeah, when it comes to this, man, I was locked in, ready to roll. I agree, first of all, with where you guys are talking about the over. I think there might be some value there, especially with, Kyrie being out, KD, Harden being in. We know he's not going to play no defense anyway, especially if he got a limp hammy, even more no D. And then, of course, he'll most likely get some points on the board. So I would look over as well. I believe it's at like 217. Now it's getting up there a little bit, but it's still some value there from what it was at. But when it comes to a side, man, I ain't gonna lie to you, I was really feeling Milwaukee here. I was looking at more first half, but then with this goddamn Harden shit coming back in, like I do care. Unlike Skee, I do care if James Harden plays or not. To me, this is Milwaukee should really smash here. If James is like 70%, that's a big difference to me. I'm wondering if like someone said in the chat, shout out to my guy the Hook, but someone said in the chat, is this going to be an AD situation? I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't expecting James Harden to play, to be honest with you. So him being, most likely suiting up is a surprise to me. So I would look more at the in play, see what we see. We don't have to bet this game. If you want to bet this game, though, I would look Milwaukee first half. I just simply think they're finding themselves. They know that the big bully is, what I'm saying, they're down a little bit, and they better stomp on their throat while they can. I think Brooklyn knows that. That's why James Harden's suiting up. But yeah, I'm gonna look at it more from a prop aspect. When I look at it, KD is averaging 30 in this series with Kyrie on the court. He had a real below KD game in in game 4. Still had, I believe, right around 30. But just shot the ball horribly, turned it over. Didn't have a good game all around. If you watch the game, it wasn't a KD game. We're getting a little bit better number now with James Harden back in the lineup. I believe it's 33.5 right now at books. So if you can get 33.5, I'd jump on that. KD will get his tonight. I look for him to score 35, 40 plus with James or without James. KD's getting his. And then I'm going to look at it from the other aspect of Milwaukee. I'm going to look at Jrue Holiday. I know me and Ian continue to go back to him, and we haven't had too much success. But this is the point where I think we could take advantage of it now. He's yet to have a big game, but we know Drew's got all the tools in the book to show out. And the big thing to me is he does not have to worry about Kyrie Irving. I mean, that guy, that's his main focus. That has been his main focus. Now Kyrie's gone. I think he'll attack James. Whoever's on him, Jrue Holiday is going to get us 20 points plus tonight. We'll go over 18.5. We're getting a better number now. So we're getting over 18.5. Shop around, too. It's plus money all the way at minus 110 at other places. So shop around. But I believe Jrue will get his tonight. And we'll look for a competitive game. And I believe this is a game where you really do have patience and live bet. I know people don't want to do that. But that's what you got to do when there's so many questions with this game, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if you don't want to live bet and don't believe in it, you should visit our Discord, the Pub Sports Radio Discord, every night and see how live betting can be profitable and how you can take advantage of certain prices and situations during a game, and you can do that. And this feels like one of those games. Like, why pound your head against the wall with a million pregame bets? We don't know how hard he's going to be. Is he going to be on? We're talking about a hammy here. A right hamstring. We don't know what his conditioning's like. He hasn't played in a while. He's been sitting his ass on the seat as the court side for the last several games, and he's going to have to play through this hamstring. We don't know any of that. So why rush to bet anything a ton of things pregame when you can watch the first quarter, see how things start out, and maybe make a live bet from there? For me, it's just a couple of props that I like pregame. The Joe Harris one, and I'm glad Dutch brought up Jrue Holiday. He is definitely that Milwaukee player that I had my targets on for a player prop tonight. And I know I've just been day late and $1 short with Holiday so far. This does feel like a good night maybe to get in with 18.5 over for Jrue Holiday in this game tonight. I like that one quite a bit. If there was a Milwaukee Bucks player prop I was going to bet tonight, it would be that one. Jrue Holiday for the Bucks over 18.5 points. Conor Mac, what do you think here? Game 5, Milwaukee, Brooklyn.
Yeah, we'll see. Harden or no Harden, I think he goes. We'll see how good the hammy is. Those are such touchy injuries. I take the Nets here. I take the 3 at home. You're going to give me 3 points. I know now it's 2.5 mostly. This Bucks team, up and down over the last few years, it took care of business at home, but I wouldn't trust them laying, a whole possession almost on the road here. And the total, dropped all the way down to 220 here. These teams have been so cold shooting. Even last game, the Nets 10 of 33, 30% shooting. I'm hesitant. Yeah, I think this could go over. I've been on all the unders in this series too, every game. So in game is the way to go. But player prop wise, I think James over 1.5 threes at plus 120. I think Brown, Harris, all those guys, especially how well Harden plays, because Kyrie is out. So all those 3 guys, especially, maybe look at their points props. Brown over 10.5, Harris 13.5, James over 8.5. They got to do more tonight. So maybe look to that player. But that's what I saw, because there wasn't a ton of value today in the player props in this game. And we'll see. Giannis just got to keep getting it to the bucket. Don't shoot threes. I think the game should be tight. But we'll see. It's definitely, a one to watch, and maybe in-game live bet to see how everything goes, how Harden is, and how everything rolls. Durant should do it, but 33. I mean, he should get that over, but I don't know if I don't want to lay 33.5 to get it over. But I lean Nets. I just from getting 3 now 2.5. That'd be my bet pregame in this one.
All right, leaning Brooklyn here as a home underdog +3 for Conor Mac. And I know Billy Briz in the chat mentioned Mike James. Those are the guys you want to look at for Brooklyn. It's the supporting cast. I mean, this is where you expect them to step up on their home floor, back home where they won the first 2 games, to shoot better and play better. So I'm personally on Joe Harris, but in terms of over points, but I wouldn't talk anyone out of Mike James and Bruce Brown, and other guys, Blake Griffin even.
Yeah.
That's
he needs to get going.
Yeah, those are the ones you want to maybe target because you'd expect them all to play a little bit better tonight here in Game 5 back on their home floor. Great stuff, Skee. Great stuff, C-Mac. Great stuff, Dutch. That is the Game 5 analysis for Milwaukee, Brooklyn. It'll be a fascinating game to watch. We'll get to our best bets. We'll get to Dutch's freshest look in just a moment. Before we do that, messages from Manscaped and Southtown 101. Southtown 101, San Antonio, Texas. When you're in town, check them out. Grab a bite to eat, grab some drinks, live music, DJs, karaoke, and more. Southtown 101, check them out. Manscaped, promo code PubSports, 20% off. And as we mentioned, the Lawnmower 4.0, latest new and improved version available. So use that 20% code to get the new version. Connor and I with Utah were working on the 3.0 mower last night, and Dutch ran us over with the 4.0 mower with those clippers last night.
Wireless, baby, wireless.
Yeah, exactly. We needed to update our equipment, Connor. We were on that old equipment.
Yeah, you still got the cord, bro.
Yeah. So Manscaped, check them out. Promo code PubSports. And we've got mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports, NHL, NBA playoffs, MLB, US Open golf this week. Football will be around the corner, 2 months away. Bitcoin accepted currency for your deposit. So good time to check out and open an account with mybookie.ag, promo code PubSports. All right, let's get after it, fellas. It's best bet time. We'll start with you, Skee Profit. What do you like for best bet tonight?
Best bet. I mean, I'm honestly probably not going to be making a bet on this game. But I'll give you two props that I'm looking at. Don't know what the juice or number is, but I think Giannis gets a double-double, and I like Brook Lopez rebounds over 6.5 because he's getting more minutes the past couple games that they've been successful, and he's had 11 rebounds, but in both of them, I think so. Over 6.5 seems very doable.
All right, there you go. Some player props to look at from Skee Profit. What do you think here, Dutch? Freshest look?
Yeah, man. Shout out to MMA Locker Room and Robert Cherry. Yeah, I gotta keep it a hundo. Like I'm definitely gonna be betting on this game, like some props and but it's hard to say. I don't know if I'm gonna be dropping 2 units on any of this, but I'll say the best look on the board, the freshest look on the board. I'd have to say people don't want to do the juice, but it would be KD over 2.5 threes. It's minus 160 all the way to minus 200. That's honestly, I think, the best look on the board. But I'm going to give you KD over 33.5 points, minus 110. He'll get that as well. But if you don't mind laying a little juice, go ahead and load up on them 2.5 threes. He's definitely getting that. Believe that.
All right, so over 2.5 threes if you can handle the juice. If you want to drink the juice, if you think the juice is worth the squeeze, there you go. That was an old line from American Beauty way back when. Good movie.
That's a good movie. That's a trippy movie, yeah.
That is, definitely. And Kevin Durant over points with the official freshest look here for Dutch, over 33.5 points KD. Conor Mac, best bet.
Yeah, I don't have one in this game either. I think the player props on some of those guys like Harris, James, maybe even Brown are the look here to get some points. And I think Harden, if he goes, I think he goes a little bit. I'd be on the Nets. That's my lean. It's 3 now, 2.5, even at 2.5. They're at home, dog. Their backs against the wall. Everyone on the Bucks. I think the Nets could pull it off here tonight.
Yeah, it's been one of those series where we're ready to write off Milwaukee, and that's the time you bet Milwaukee. We're ready to write off Brooklyn now, and yeah, that's the thinking. Maybe now's the time to step in with Brooklyn. We'll see if they can get it done. Brooklyn +3 for Conor Mac, best bet. Mine is going to be player prop best bet, Joe Harris, over 13.5 points. It was my favorite prop from the very beginning when I started looking at this game, and we'll use that for best bet. He steps up and shoots like he did in the first 2 games at home tonight. In this one, Joe Harris, over 13.5 points, best bet for me for tonight. It's Game 5, Milwaukee, Brooklyn. All right, that'll wrap it up. That is the end of this edition of the Pub Hub. We're back tomorrow on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific, with another edition of the NBA Pub Hub show. Join us for that, for Skee, for Connor, for Dutch, me, and Cameron. Have a great Tuesday night. Enjoy Game 5 between Milwaukee and Brooklyn. And we'll see you again tomorrow on Wednesday for another edition of the NBA Pub Hub right here on Pub Sports Radio. Dutch, take us home.
Yeah, man. Salute to the chat, the real ones. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you have not. Share this video with your friends and fam. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest.
We be pumping! Yeah.